Hey, thanks for joining in. I'm John Celentano, Inside Towers business editor and managing director of our quarterly market analysis publication, Inside Towers Intelligence. This is your Market Intelligence Minute. Today we're looking at wireless capital expenditures and the outlook as reported in the recent third quarter 24 earnings calls. So here are the numbers for each of the mobile network operators and wireless service providers for their full year 2024 spending. A couple of key points here. The big three, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, account for 93% of the total. Note that the numbers here for AT&T and Verizon are wireless-only portion of their total capex, which they don't break out. We've attempted to and have tracked this for quite a while, and we have a pretty good handle on how much they spend out of their total, and that's what's shown here. AT&T had been relying on vendor financing, but they are certainly reducing that. That was close to $6 billion in 2023 versus about under $2 billion for 2024 that's shown here. Dish has asked for and got more time to build out its 5G network, so spending has been down for this year compared to prior years, but will ramp over the next couple of years. And U.S. Cellular will get absorbed by T-Mobile in the aftermath of the announcement of T-Mobile's acquisition. So we tally it all up, and it looks like the guidance is showing an aggregate capex of $33.1 billion for 2024. But here's the interesting part. It's hard to forecast quarter-to-quarter spending, but we certainly can track it. And what we see here is the past 2 years as of the third quarter and a projection for the fourth quarter based on the full year guidance. The big three have maintained their previous full year capex guidance, so the 4Q estimates will show the difference of what has been spent through 3Q and the full year guidance. So as it turns out, the numbers show that we can expect about a 34% jump quarter to quarter for the fourth quarter of the year. Up to roughly $9.6 billion for the quarter of all the carriers combined. And that puts us on par with where we started back in the early 2023 when the slowdown, the so-called slowdown, first hit the scene. So you can see the spending dropped steadily through 2023 and actually through the first half of 2024, but now we're on the rebound. To substantiate that outlook for increased carrier spending, let's take a look at what the tower companies are doing. They turned in their third quarter results, and one of the big pluses and positive notes that we got from those announcements was that the number of co-location requests that they're getting is substantially up from prior years and prior quarters compared to the number of amendments they're being asked to make. All of this translates into more activity on towers by their MNO tenants. This means that their MNO tenants want to add new equipment to towers they don't currently occupy versus making changes on existing sites. And so this is consistent with what we see in the increases of MNO capital expenditures. Certainly all the carriers have spectrum licenses that they have yet to deploy, especially in suburban and rural areas. And they're densifying their networks with more cell sites, especially in urban areas, to meet increasing mobile data demand. How it manifests in the tower company numbers is that their services revenue, that is, services they provide to their tenants for things like site acquisition, permitting, licensing, preparation work on the site, has increased and is increasing through the end of the year, as the numbers show here. So again, this is another proof point that things have turned around in the industry and are moving in the good direction that we'd all hope for. So here's what our forecast looks like for the next few years. 2024 is a rebound year. The momentum we're expecting will carry through the fourth quarter and into 2025 and 2026, although we don't expect to see the peak reached back in 2021 and 2022 that were driven by one-time events that included early C-band deployments by Verizon and AT&T, T-Mobile completing its integration of the Sprint network, and Dish meeting its 70% coverage bogey. But going forward, we'll see the MNO spending what we call business as usual or BAU capex, and vendor financing will be insignificant. Again, these numbers are wireless only capex. They do not include tower company capex, which we estimate will add about another $1 billion a year to the total. They also do not include any government funding programs such as BEAD, as well as several $1 million for rip and replace activity associated with Huawei and ZTE replacement activity. The curve on the right is capital intensity, and the benchmark we use is 15%. Any figure above 15% is indicative of network expansion and new build out, and anything below reflects more of a maintenance mode of activity. And as you can see, as we get through 2024, that capital intensity curve ticks up again and starts to go beyond the 15% range. So there you have it. And that's your Market Intelligence Minute. We appreciate you watching. You can contact me directly for any comments or questions. A subscription to Intelligence includes in-depth analyses covering topics like this and other digital infrastructure asset classes. For more information, visit insidetowers.com/intelligence.